Uh, well, I thought our guys gave a great team effort. I thought they, did a great job of bouncing back. We had two tough games, and to come back home and to get in here in our environment, I thought our student section was great again. These guys have really, really helped us, and I thought our guys, fed off of it and had a really good team effort. So we beat a good basketball team. I've watched them play a lot on film, and they've played everybody well. They've won a number of games, and they've been right there in most all their games. And I thought our guys just really had a good overall game tonight collectively.
Coach, getting off to a fast start is obviously very important. So how did you like the beginning of the game? Not just Keyshawn obviously hitting down those shots, but forcing some turnovers and getting you extra opportunities.
Well, that's important. I thought, when we're active, when we're flying around like we were tonight, I think it works for us in multiple ways. One, it gets us playing at the type of pace that we want to play at. We want to play a 94-foot game. We're able to do that. And then, two, like I said, when guys can see the ball go in early, I thought Keyshawn really set the tone by knocking down some shots early. And then that gave us great momentum to start the game. And I think the rest of our guys were able to feed off of the energy that he did offensively, and we were able to sustain it mostly throughout the game.
Coach, you guys held TCU to 58 points today. We know the defense of effort has been an emphasis through practice lately. How proud of the guys were you to see that defensive effort?
I was very proud. That's something we emphasized the last several days. We were working on, defense. We were working on rebounding. We were working on taking care of the basketball. And those are the areas that I saw the most improvement in tonight. I thought we defended well. I thought we rebounded, okay. I thought we could still be better. And I thought we took care of the basketball at a level that we need to take care of the basketball in this conference.
To add to that, you held TCU to a league record low three-point shooting percentage of 1 for 20. What did you see defensively from the three-point line?
Well, that's always a combination. I mean, I thought we defended the three well, but also they missed some open looks. I mean, that's to be quite frank, and that's the nature of the game. They had some looks that I've seen them make. They just didn't hit them tonight, and then in other situations I thought we defended it well. So it was a combination. It wasn't all, some nights, I played this game long enough and coached it long enough. Some nights it just won't go in like you want it to. And I think tonight probably with some of the looks they've had with some of their shooters, they've made those at a higher percentage than they did here tonight.
Coach, you ended up dropping a couple, and then you return and win by your largest margin of victory of the season. Do you at all feel like this was a good reset win, especially with a tough rematch coming up against Kansas?
No, absolutely. I thought it was a good way to respond to two tough, challenging games. And, that's how this league's going to be. You're going to face adversity. It's how you handle it. I thought our guys were very mature. We got knocked back, of course, and you have to get back up. I mean, it's going to happen in this league. It favors the teams that are going to get knocked down and then get back up. And I thought we were able to get back up and keep fighting, keep competing, and it led us to an opportunity to have a win today.
Up and down on defense throughout the season, what do you think the key is to achieving consistency in that Johnny Dawkins style of defense you like to play?
Well, I think it starts with attention to detail. I think our focus is something that we've got to have. Like I said, these guys are still learning it. Like we do a lot of we mix defenses, we mix presses, we mix a half court D, and so it takes a good understanding of what we're supposed to do on each possession. And I think sometimes we just don't focus as well on it as we need to. But that's to be expected with some of the guys are young, some of the guys are new, and we're in a new world. I'm no longer in a situation where I have retaining all my players, and so they already kind of know what I want. Now it's, these guys are learning it on the fly. And I think as they start to get it, we'll be better defensively. That's why I'm encouraged about our overall ceiling and how good we can be, because I know we're not near it. I know as they continue to pick up these things every possession, we continue to improve. But it's our focus, and it's our just understanding that we have to be more detail-oriented defensively, and that's something that we haven't done consistently.
What's up, Coach? Jonathan from 9-4 Philly Media. Mo, man, one of the best rebounders and the best shot blockers in the nation. Going against a guy like Ernest, those two, battling it together and back and forth in the back there. How you think Mo played tonight?
First of all, I think Ernest is a terrific player. I mean, I've watched Ernest play ever since high school because he grew up right here, and he's a force. And so I thought Moustapha did a really good job of, trying to contain him, not giving him anything easy. And I thought that was good. And it was great to see him compete against a guy like Ernest, who's a veteran in our conference, a junior, been around our league, has had success. And so for him, have to have an experience like that each time that he plays someone of that caliber is going to continue to help him grow and become better because of facing that type of competition. So I think it was good for him.
Kind of building off that, on offense, we've kind of seen Moustapha grow and mature into his game. He's kind of adding that stretch five thing. I think he shot 3 threes today. What would you like to see out of that? I know you guys got 10 offensive rebounds, mostly because the center was out of the paint. What would you like to see from that going forward?
Well, we need to continue to be active and aggressive, and pursue balls. Teams are doing it against us, and we have to do the same thing. We have to be more active on the boards. Guys need to understand their assignments because we don't send all 5 of our guys to the board. Some guys have to get back for defensive balance. But the guys that are assigned to go need to be active, and they can't stop because of a little bit of contact. In this league, there's going to be contact. You have to continue to fight through it and try to make plays. I thought we saw some of that today. By both teams, and it's something that we have to continue to get better at.
There was at one point in the second half where they kind of made a little run. It was like 12 minutes or so. I think the margin got down to 10. Right after that, you guys picked it up and extended it back again. But what did you like about your team to not let up at that point?
Well, it's the way we want to play. We always say our strength is in our numbers, and the only way you can prove that is by playing guys. And so I think, our depth played a factor in the game. I thought the fact that we were able to rotate some guys in there, and maybe they didn't score, but they gave us some things maybe defensively. They gave us some things by just their effort and energy that helped us. So when we put guys back in like a Darius, like a Jordan Ivy Curry, like a Keyshawn, we're able to put those guys in situations where they were able to get a good rest and come in fresh and continue to keep the intensity up.
Johnny, you guys go on the road now to face Kansas. How do you kind of, capture this intensity you guys had tonight, especially on the defensive end, and try to carry it with you as you go on the road against the Jayhawks?
Well, the biggest thing is we need to remember what we did well and then make sure we go out there and look to execute those things again. We need to understand, okay, what was our mindset going into this game? What was our preparation like going into this game? And then it's about executing at the end, and I thought we did those things. I thought our mindset was good, our preparation was good, and then it comes down to just executing on game day, and that's how we have to approach our next opponent.
DJ, Juice, Moustapha, and Keyshawn combined for 71 of your 85 points today. What can be said about their chemistry specifically and how they're continuing to execute, especially since 3 out of 4 of those guys were not on this team last year?
Well, they're getting more and more comfortable with each other. Especially, I see Jordan and DJ connecting a lot. As far as driving and assisting to each other, they kind of know each other is on the court, which is great. Keyshawn has been a great facilitator because he attracts so much attention by what he does offensively that he can find guys as well. And those 3 guys have all been accomplished scorers in their career. I mean, DJ was an accomplished scorer here last year in the Big 12. Juice was an accomplished scorer in the American, and Keyshawn was an accomplished scorer in the A-10. So these guys come with the ability to put the ball in the basket. Our biggest concern was where we're going to be able to do it with some chemistry between the players, and we're getting that. I think the chemistry and continuity is coming throughout the season, and we need to continue to work towards it and continue to build on it.
Hey, Coach.
As you guys approach the halfway point of the Big 12 season, are these games now being considered must-win type games, or is it still too early to maybe consider it that way?
I always consider it the same way every time. I just never change for me as a player, as a coach. Every time I step foot on the floor, it's a must-win. I don't look at any game. I don't care if it's the first game of the season or it's the 20th game of the season. My mindset doesn't change, and I coach that way. I coach our guys to understand every single game is important. You don't want to look back on any game and go, well, this one, we didn't take it as serious as we may have taken a game on game 25. I'm very, very big on every game. You got to approach it like it's a championship game, and that's just it.
Hey, Coach. The guy, Keyshawn, 11 for 13. He was very, very, efficient. He was very consistent, got really hot early. Do you need games like that from him to moving forward to, keep winning games like that?
No, absolutely. Keyshawn, he's a dynamic offensive player. You can see it. He can be electric out there when he gets going. And so it's fun to see him, and when he's in that kind of mode. But, yeah, we need him to continue just to basically to stay aggressive and take his looks. Every night's not going to be a night where he starts off with the first 10 points of the game, hit probably 2 or 3 threes in a row. We can't expect that, but we can expect him is to have the certain mindset, to come out the way he played. I thought his mindset was the way we wanted to have him play. And as he continued to have that mindset, it just helps our guys feed off of his energy and what he's doing out there.
Coach, there's a clear connection between the student section and your roster up and down. They were chanting for Pooh. You put him in, and they went crazy. What's going through your mind when they're going crazy from the assist?
You know, I love our student section. Like I said, a long time ago, that's 9 years ago now, I guess, when we came here to see where our student section is now compared to where we started. Is a tribute to these kids, these young people, our student athletes and our students. They understand their value, the importance of them being in the arena, giving us energy. They're our sixth man. They really are. And so when we can do things like when Pooh can get in the game and they can celebrate Pooh, and we look forward to those opportunities. And it's tough because, as you know, we're playing, a heck of a schedule, and it's tough to always get it done. But, I was happy to see them get out there and contribute. They went really, really crazy for them. And that's what you want, because these guys are all student athletes and the students. There should be a bond that these kids should carry for the rest of their lives.
Coach, I just want to get your thoughts on the program's first trip to the historic Allen Fieldhouse. Obviously a tough place to play, but, James Naismith, obviously, founder of basketball, founded the program. I know the rules of basketball, I think, are located in I think it's in the facility somewhere for public viewing. Will the team maybe be able to, sneak over there for a shoot around to check that out?
I haven't thought about that yet. Just coming off of this game, I just hadn't thought about what we'll do when we get there. But, of course, it's a storied venue. I mean, unbelievable history there. The inventor of the game, I guess the rules of the game that was written up by Naismith are there. So, those are things, it's an amazing experience. The main thing we got to do is understand we got to go there focused on us and what we have to do. But that's what we're going to really concentrate on. But as you just mentioned before, I'm always trying to educate our guys on the history of the game because it's important for them to know it. Sometimes that can get lost. And if we have an opportunity to educate them, of course, we'll share that with them.
You're only a couple weeks removed from a 51-point loss to this Kansas team. What do you think you can do differently here? That matchup with Hunter Dickinson was difficult. What has to change in order to get a win on the road there?
Well, right from that game, we went right to more games, and so I haven't looked back to see exactly what we did in that game to know. I'll do that tonight when I go home and we start going through preparing for them, and I'll take a look at it. But obviously, we didn't put our best foot forward that night, and obviously it was a big reason because they did. They played really, really good basketball. I look back on the game; they were terrific, and we weren't. And you give them credit for that. They made us not look good out there. So I know we have to start there and make our adjustments, and then I'll look and see exactly what the things were that we have to shore up, prior to the game as we start to prepare. But right now, like I said, we throw all our energy into the next opponent, and I don't get a chance to see the past opponent until I'm trying to prep for them again. All right, guys.
Keyshawn, I got to ask you, have you ever opened the game hitting 3 consecutive three-pointers to put your team up 9-0?
Nah, I never did, but it felt good. It felt good, you know what I'm saying? I just was flowing, wasn't thinking about it. My teammates was just finding me and trying to get me going. Like, even on the fast break, Juice had a bucket, but he slowed it down and said, hey, come here, Key, and just try to get it to me, so.
Well, how good did that feel for you personally? Like, the last time you were out here, you didn't have the shooting night, you would have won, but to come out on fire like that had to feel pretty good, right?
It felt great, man. It felt like like I was just back in the day, just at the rec center with my friends, you know what I'm saying? I just got hot, and it was just feeling like that type of day, so that's what it was.
You guys held TCU to the lowest scored points that you guys have given up during this Big 12 season, and 1 of 20 from 3. What did you guys like from yourselves defensively tonight?
From ourselves, we just like that we took away the 3. That was our biggest thing, taking away the 3 and not giving people second chance points. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing about defense. The best thing about defense is rebounding. So when we take the second chance points away, that's a big thing. We can get out in transition and try to play in transition before they load up on defense. So that was our biggest thing, and just not let them get no 3s and just box out.
Keyshawn, this was your guys' largest margin of victory this season. How have you seen the offense continue to grow as you guys get deeper and deeper into conference play?
Really, we just connecting more. Like today, we had 20 assists and 7 turnovers. Don't get me wrong. Some games we haven't done the best. Just like our last couple of games, we haven't done the best. But we just been trying to go on to the next play. You know what I'm saying? Like, see if we can just play better every game and just try to get to where we at, because our ceiling is so high because we can score the ball, but it's about locking in on defense. So once we do that, we can be a good team.
Moustapha, you guys give up 13 offensive rebounds, but only 6 second chance points. I know you had a couple blocks on second chance opportunities. What do you do when they maybe grab a offensive rebound? Like, how do you react?
I mean, it's not good to let them get another second chance. First of all, we got to box out and get the ball, but it's just second effort. Every time they catch they get the second ball, like a rebound, just keep playing hard and then trying to get the block.
Yeah, he's the best shot blocker in the country to me. So
Hey
it's
Mo.
kind of easy for him.
Hey Mo, how's it going, man? You was playing phenomenally well. Good matchup against Ernest today, man. Both you guys are like one of the best rebounders in the nation. So how does it feel to containing with him and to make sure, to box him out and just play physical with him?
Yeah, he's a really good player. Actually, I've been watching him since I was in high school playing. He's a really good player, physical player, low post. He's been doing a hell of a job. Today I was just trying to be physical with him. Keep him off the board because he get a lot of rebounds. And I've been just not letting him, post up, deploy. But he's a really good player.
Keyshawn, Moustapha, it seemed like you guys came out with a lot of intensity to start the game. Was that something you guys wanted to do coming right out of the gate because of what happened the last two games? Did you really want to kind of focus on that?
Yeah, definitely. We feel like we let one slip, and then we feel like we just didn't play our best. So our last two games, so we just felt like, man, forget the offense. Yeah, offense was flowing because we got the stops. That was the main thing. Let's come on and get stops. Let's try to get. I don't know if you guys know what kills is, but it's 3 stops in a row. Let's try to get some kills under our belt right at the start of the game, and the offense will flow better, and we'll get in transition. So that made us more energized, not just the points and the threes. It was just the stops.
Moustapha, you were able to impact a lot of shots tonight, and Keyshawn just called you the best blocker in the nation. So how much more comfortable now are you feeling now that you got some Big 12 games under your belt? You're able to impact the game really well.
I mean, I've been feeling good. I'm around a lot of good players, so they've been making each other better. Pass the ball, move the ball. We don't have that problem. And then Keyshawn is a really good lob passer too, so he's been giving me some lobs. Yeah, but
I'm not, man. He say I don't.
Nah, he is. I'm just trolling, but yeah, there's a lot of really good play in our team. So we've been just playing, connecting, playing in each other.
For both of you guys, I know basketball can often be a game of runs. So when you're up 13-0 and within the first 2-3 minutes, how do you guys handle the kind of wave of emotions of having a lead that quickly out of the gate on both sides of the ball?
It's just about staying composed in that type of atmosphere and that type of game because, like you said, every game has their runs. So we just have to stay composed, stay doing what we're doing, and now allow a second chance point. That's what they was preaching to us at the first media timeout. Coach Dawkins would say, yeah, this round is not over. Nothing's over. They're a great team. They come back on multiple teams. It's like the Baylor game. They're very good. So we just have to not give up second chance points and keep locking in. No threes.
4 of you guys combined for 71 of your 85 points. It was you, Moustapha, Darius, and Juice. What is the connection between like the 4 of you guys, and how do you use that to elevate each other's game?
Really, we just try to see each other's strengths, and whoever has it going, we try to get it to them. We don't try to do other things. Yeah, if it's something open, we'll go. But if they're going, we try to get it to them as much as we can because we know we are all great scorers. And then once we get to the rim, if Moustapha right there in the dunker, just hand it to him. He's so skilled. His touch is crazy. You don't have to dunk it every time. You can just throw floaters from the short corner and pull up jumpers from the short corner. So we just try to work on each other's strengths, just seeing each other in practice and doing stuff, and try to play to each other's game, and then it works out.
Keyshawn, you drew 11 fouls tonight. I know you typically draw a lot of fouls. What goes into the taking that physicality into the paint?
Man, I don't know. I just like playing physical. I think I just like playing physical as I grew up. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, so, we didn't call a lot of fouls at the rec games and all type of stuff like that. We was just trying to bulldoze through each other or things like that. So I just try to play physical, and as you guys remember, I was like 300 pounds before, so I played in the post a lot. So once I lost a lot of weight, I'm able to move now from the wing again, just get downhill, and I can absorb the contact. So that's just the biggest thing for me. Just as long as I just try to stay physical and stay at attack, everything works out.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Having that floor adrenaline like Darius Johnson for both you guys to makes your job easy to cut to the basket, space the floor. How does it feel playing a guy like him?
Playing with a guy like Darius is great, man. Like, he's one of the better guards I had in my career. So he's one of the he can get downhill, he can pass it very good, he can shoot it, and he's very strong. That's one thing people I know his build looks crazy, but he's very strong and sturdy. You're not pushing him off his spot, so he gets us going. His energy, he's a leader. That's the main thing. He's a leader, and he talks about all the other things other than scoring. He's talking about getting stops on the bench and everything. So that helps us in a way and show us leadership because he's been in this program. He knows what Coach Dawkins wants.
Coming off of back-to-back losses, you guys could have felt like you needed this win to get back on the momentum. What does that do for confidence now that you guys are 4-4 back at 500?
It's a big thing in conference, man. This is a big win because this is a great program. Like these guys, I think in the last 3 years, right, they went to the tournament 3 years in a row, right? So, yeah, they're a great team. They're well coached. So that was just a big win to get us some momentum going down this stretch we have, you know what I'm saying, with a big game coming up and things like that. So that's going to be a great win. We're going to what's it called? Soak it in for tonight, but then we're going to get right back on the next play mentality tomorrow at film.
You guys played Kansas on, I think, Monday or Tuesday, one of those days. But powerhouse team, you know, top 25 in the country. What is you think you guys have to feel that same momentum that you guys played today? You know, playing fast, you know, playing physical, and just, you know, with a bigger Kansas team.
Yeah, man. Like we said, man. You know, sometimes when you go on the road or things like that, it's not always an offensive night. You're not always gonna have the best offensive day, but you know what can translate defense. That's just an effort thing. Defense translates everywhere. You know what I'm saying? That's not putting the ball in the rim, and rebounding. So that's just having heart. So we just gotta do them things. The defense and the rebound, we can get it in transition and things like that. Because who's to know? We don't want no team in the country wants to play against anybody half-court defense. You know what I'm saying? We want to get out and run. So that's just gonna be our biggest thing. And just as long as we just take them off the second chance points and just playing defense and no threes and things like that.
Back on that Kansas game, is there something, though, you can learn? I mean, it's just a couple of weeks removed from a pretty resounding defeat. Is there something you can learn from the way in which that game played out that you take with you now?
It's something you can learn from every game. There's a lot of things that happen in that game, a lot of things that happen in a lot of games. We just have to go watch film, see some things that we messed up on, see some things. We just have to stay composed because, you know, they have a great atmosphere, a great team. We just have to stay composed and confident and just stay at it and not worry about everything else. Just worry about winning defense and rebounding because once that happens, it gives us the energy. Like once we know, oh, yeah, we can lock in on these guys and we can compete with anybody.
You guys lost by 50-plus points. I mean, you got to be looking forward to another opportunity to play those guys on their home court now.
Yeah, definitely. Like where I come from, you know, we always try to get our get back. So we trying to come out there and do something, like trying to get a win, which is every game we're trying to win. But this is a game we're really trying to win because we have to make a statement. Like that was an embarrassing loss for the program, for our community and everything. So we have to try to do something about that.
Appreciate it, fellas.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Well, there's not much we can say. I mean, we got thoroughly outplayed, and the slow start, obviously, their fast start, our slow start, got us off to a situation I didn't anticipate. No, I thought we'd get a little bit hit early. I thought that was a possibility. Didn't think it'd be to that extent. 13-0, I think. But then we started chipping away, get it down to 6, which is what I kind of continued telling our guys at halftime. Throughout the first half, and then it got away a little bit more in at the start of it, and then I really went into halftime telling guys we're going to turn this into a one-possession game, you know, and we come out, and we get stops to start the half, and you know we come out and go. I guess we got hot. We went 1 for 8 in the second half on 3, so couldn't make a shot. You know, and we're predicated. Our mentality is on offense. If things aren't going great, it can really hinder us. And I told our guys we're going to turn this into a one possession game. We've had some comeback games. We just had the win at Baylor. So our mentality was we were going to come back in that halftime in the huddle and get the stop to start the second half, and just can't put a shot in. And it just seemed like we just never got confident. Also, I thought we'd handle attacking. It wasn't so much the turnovers in the press, but we didn't attack on the back end of it. And that's something we do pretty well, and we just didn't do it. So, you know, bad decisions at the end of it. So I just didn't have I had no answers. I had no answers for this here today.
It seemed like there was a lot of layups that just rimmed out. It's just one of those nights for your team. Also, the three-point shooting as well.
Yeah, no, the three-point, obviously, the 1 for 20 stands out, but we have some stats where they said to me during the game that we were finishing around the rim. I think we missed like 3 point blank layups by ourselves early in the game. and that it's just where I'm trying to encourage. I'm trying to pick them up. We're going to make the next ones, and I think they just got. They just were not going with it. They could not respond, especially in that second half when it turned, and we looked like, and then they hit some shots and scored at the end of clock, which wore us down to even more. So, I was certainly disappointed in how we played. I gave credit to Central Florida. I didn't do a good job having us. Prepared. I don't know if they did anything different than what we saw, but obviously, when he hits 3 threes to start the game like that, it does give some confidence to everybody else on the floor.
Coach, you guys started struggling shooting the ball from deep, as well as giving up 11 turnovers throughout the game. What challenges did UCF provide you guys on the defensive end?
Well, 11 is not a horrible. 1 for 20 is a tough. You're not going to win many games. I don't think anybody's probably ever won with 1 for 20 or 0 for 12 in the first half. So, that's an easy starting point. But yeah, the turnovers. We're a low turnover team. 11s to their 7. I just think probably the biggest difference of 13 threes to 1 3 is 36 different points differential right there. So and I think our thing is we do make a pretty good amount of threes and shoot a pretty good percentage. So if you don't defend, which is one thing we tend to do well at times, and you don't make shots for threes, and we're a pretty good shooting team, you're going to end up in a situation like this. So.
Coach, obviously you're kind of getting into the midst of the Big 12 schedule. I'm sure you guys have played in some tough environments, but was the crowd at all like rattling the guys, or were they pretty calm for the most part and just struggling to hit the shots?
I think it was, I thought it was a good atmosphere, and that's what we're used to. It fits right into the Big 12, and interesting thing is we shot it well. I thought in shoot around this morning, I thought we shot the ball well. So I thought we had a good feeling going into it. So we got to respond with defense and rebounding if you're not making shots. But it was a great atmosphere, great arena, obviously great facility, and I'm sorry we didn't play better.
I know scoring's kind of been a challenge for your team throughout the course of the season. Is it coming down to just execution, or do you feel like the selection and the shot creation's been good enough?
I thought for the first half, I actually thought our shots were pretty good. I'll go look at it. We talked about the layups missed, the threes. I don't think there were any real bad threes in the first half. I think we had lost. We had lost our way in the second half, and I think we made an initial run. I think again, getting the stops, getting some opportunities in transition, just kind of it finally wore us down in the second half. And I'm talking there were some point blank layups and wide open threes, and a large number of them. So it's not an excuse because you have to respond to those, and you're going to have these games. And maybe you can keep it close with your defense and rebounding, but we didn't.
Hey, Coach, man, Jonathan from 945 Media. It was a big, rebounding matchup between Mo and Ernest, man. So they was both, crashing boards going at it back to back. How has Ernest been a bit impacting when it comes to you guys rebound?
No, when he plays well, we win, and when he doesn't play as well, we struggle. So I think that's with most big guys and how it is. And I gotta have us. We didn't get. I thought Malik did some good things out there for us. I thought he was crashing and active, and really, we just came up. They were hot. We weren't. The simplest put, and then that added to some of the rebounding differential too. So really hard to. It's tough to take for us. For me to play like we did.
You talked about the missed threes. It was the worst 3-point percentage in Big 12 history. How
Is
do you?
that right?
Yeah, UCF had the record before. How do you take that and kind of throw it out and move on to the next games?
Well, like I said, we improved in the second half. So yeah, again, when you get good shots, you feel good about it. I thought they were in the first half. So yeah, obviously, it's when you set records and bad records, it's you're going to put yourself in a situation.
Yeah, Coach. So you guys were like it said 23 for 64. I guess just UCF was just outrunning from the start. The momentum for them was just they would just keep running, and they're really mostly a running team. So how efficient was guys had to make sure they had to just get back and just play a certain type of offense.
Early they hurt us in transition, no question about it, and there was some breakdowns and. Again, the missed shots just kept adding up. I mean, they were constantly in transition because of the misses and long threes, long rebounds at times that they came up with, and that gave them some breakouts too. So, it wasn't our night.
UCF goes to Kansas on Tuesday. You guys just played them this past Wednesday. Matchup-wise, what's kind of the key to hanging around with Kansas and what they can do with their?
Well, we got off to a good start in that game. We were up 14 actually in that game, and it got away from us. And we didn't shoot it well in that game either. So, their thing is defense this year. Their half-court defense is very good because of their size they put out there, and simply put, we just didn't get it done against them down the stretch. We had a lead at halftime, but they stayed with it, and again, we relied on jump shots, threes, and they didn't come through for us. And this was 40 minutes of not making any jump shots. So, but they score around the rim. They're different than us. They score well around the rim, so that's their thing. All right, thank you. Thank you, guys.